Howdy, y'all. Welcome back to the Den of DBZ All-Star. I'm DBZ All-Star, or Steve if you prefer. I'm going to be showing off the latest acquisitions from my local comic book store, featuring DC, Marvel, and independently published titles. The Marvel comics and the independently published titles were released on June 7th, 2023 and June 14, 2023, with my single DC pickup being released on June 6, 2023. So let's get started. So starting off with DC, again, this was released on June 6, 2023. This is Batman 136 for the current series, 901 for the legacy numbering. This continues Chip Zdarsky's run for the Dark Knight, which is excellent. This picks up, of course, after the events of issue 900. Some major things went down, and this deals with Batman coming to terms with what happened. Why is he staring so strangely, so intently at his hand? Read issue 900 to find out. Read this to see him kind of deal with the consequences of those events. This is also an odd issue because there will be no 137/902 until September 2023. Why? Because Joshua Williamson is at it again. There's another DC line-wide style event like last year's Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths, only this time they are cutting off all of the major DC titles for 2 months, July 2023, August 2023, and causing an interruption of most of the ongoing storylines in the majority of DC's comics. Night Terrors is dealing with Dreamworld and mysticism. Again, it's by Joshua Williamson. I am opting out, so you will probably, as I acquire comics, not see too many DC for the next 2 months. If I do end up picking up, it will be in collected edition form. I believe they start coming out in the first quarter of 2024 in standard size hardcover. I just cannot justify switching over into event mode for DC, especially since for me, no offense to Williamson, love his writing, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths did not stick the landing for me. So, we'll see how it goes. But moving on to Independence. Sorry if this ran a little long, just talking about this one comic and about what's going on with DC. But just for those who watch these videos, again, I do these for fun. Just want to keep you in the know if you are not in the know. Moving on to the independently published comics, we have The Ambassadors, issue 6 from Image Comics. Mark Miller finishing off this series that came out rather quickly, about 2 issues a month on average for this, leading into next month's launch, a big game which is going to incorporate upwards of 20 of his creator-owned series. This has not been a bad series. I did feel that despite differing artists on each issue, the story was a little bit repetitive. So, not bad. I probably would have, had I known that, picked it up in collected edition form. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter, a partnership between Udon and IDW. This is random, but it is fun. I'm glad I picked this up. Just kind of on a whim, I added it to my pull list because lately, IDW, with the loss of G.I. Joe and Transformers, has been trying to do what they can to hold on to their properties and make them fun. So that's what we've got going on with this. It is fun. It's a mini-series event, of course. because Udon has the Street Fighter license. We'll see how it continues. We have from Image Comics, The Walking Dead Deluxe, issue 64, part 3 of 5 of the Fear the Hunters storyline. As I've mentioned previously, this is a colorization of the original Walking Dead series, which was published in black and white for 193 issues and various specials, with the exception of a colorized story in issue 75 of the original series. So I'm sure that will look much the same as it did before once we get to that issue. This is still a lot of fun rereading it. It's interesting seeing things in color. I love from the cutting room floor material. That's why I'm picking this up. I love The Walking Dead. We have Robert Kirkman's latest series, Void Rival, with Lorenzo de Felici. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. No disrespect. There's been a lot of talk about this even before it launched. There's even more talk about it. I'm avoiding spoilers. Since it launched, I will be doing a brief overview of this, probably a spoiler review and a non-spoiler review to discuss it, just to get people interested, help them realize whether or not this is for them. I loved this first issue. I am definitely sold outside of the fact of what is contained as the twist within this issue, what it is launching from this series, the implications of what goes on in here. Really interested in seeing how that's going to work, but we'll see. Kirkman likes to try and hit a home run. And so far, this is a lot of fun. So, like I said, I might do a spoiler review, might do a non-spoiler review to talk about it, and you can find out for yourselves if it's worth it. Let's move on to Marvel. So, moving on to Marvel Comics, we have The Amazing Spider-Man issue 27. Picking up in the aftermath of the nonsensical events of the previous storyline, the nonsensical death of a character in issue 26. This is off to an okay start, but the death is kind of just brushed under the rug to be dealt with in the Fallen Friend special. Not the way I want it to be handled. But it's Spider-Man. I've been through some pretty odd and some bad runs with the character. I'm sticking with it. It's just disappointing. We have the Disney 100 variant for Amazing Spider-Man issue 27, featuring a tribute to the Invincible Iron Man issue 1 by Warren Ellis, Mickey Mouse in the role of Tony Stark there. We have the concluding issue of this current series of Captain Marvel, issue 50, legacy numbering 184, closing out, unfortunately, Kelly Thompson's excellent run on Captain Marvel. We do have Ian Norseni, not sure if I'm pronouncing that properly either, I apologize, launching Dark Tempest as the subtitle for Captain Marvel in July 2023. That's 5 issues, and then we have Alyssa Wong launching a new series in October 2023. So looking forward to both of those, but it is sad to see this go. The Amazingly Uncanny Omar of Near Mint Condition announced the second volume of the omnibus for release in 2024, concluding collecting Kelly Thompson's run in an omnibus format, so I cannot wait for that either. Daredevil issue 12, 2 issues to go with Zdarsky's run. This is bittersweet. Still excellent, just very bittersweet, because Zdarsky has been great. Daredevil is just one of those titles that, with the exception, for me, of Shadowland being a miss, we have had some excellent Daredevil storylines for over 20 years, since Kevin Smith took over into the short Bendis run, that filler arc. I cannot remember who wrote it. Bendis's full run, the Brubaker, then Diggle, then Shadowland, Wade, Soul, and Zdarsky. It's just been great. So it will be sad to see this go. I cannot wait to see what kind of hole Zdarsky puts Matt in for the next writer to take over. We have Doctor Strange, issue 4, Jed MacKay. I don't know what to say about this other than Jed MacKay just continues to be excellent. Extreme Venomverse, issue 3, the Peach Momoko cover, because I love Peach Momoko. This is an anthology series. It has been okay. It's nothing to write home about. The Summer of Symbiotes is off to an okay start. Planet of the Apes, issue 3. Walker on it. Set during the Andy Serkis trilogy. The most recent franchise relaunch, reboot of Planet of the Apes. It's just so good. Planet of the Apes is one of my favorite film franchises. This deals with a lot of issues fairly well. It's well written. I'm definitely keeping it on my pool. Spider-Man, issue 8. This is the second printing. Just love the cover. Not really into the Spider-Boy character, but just really found the cover to be fun, so I picked it up. Venom Lethal Protector 2, issue 4 by David Michelinie. As I've been saying in my previous videos, this is just a lot of fun. I'm a big fan of the nostalgia factor here. It really gives Eddie some more personality that he was kind of lacking in the early days of his role as Venom. So I hope this continues with another series. X-23 Deadly Regenesis. This is issue 4. This is set during the Utopia years of the X-Men mythos. Still a lot of fun. We have Immortal X-Men issue 12. Don't really want to spoil much. Will say that Gillen is still on a roll. There's a lot of interesting events that are both transpiring in these pages and seem to be starting off the Fall of X imprint or initiative during this Krakoa era. So we'll see what happens. Fall of X truly kicks off with the Hellfire Gala 2023 special. So we'll see how it goes. X-Men issue 23, the Mark Brooks Corner variant. Just love Mark Brooks, so I picked this up. Alright, X-Men Red. Al Ewing. Love Al Ewing as well. This has been a great series. We're seeing consequences of the Sins of Sinister take place, especially in this series and to a certain extent in Immortal X-Men. I love when they have crossover events that actually have some consequences. And Ewing is showing off what happens when you try to reestablish order. So, yeah, definitely pick up X-Men Red in singles or collected editions if you have not already. Plus, if you're a Cosmic fan, it features Richard Rider, Dick Rider, Nova in it. And he's just a great character. He is actually showing what happens when you suffer from PTSD as a result of prolonged conflict. And I love the exploration of mental health, because big fan of mental health getting some love. Finally, we have X-Men Before the Fall, Mutant First Strike. And this is written by Steve Orlando, who will be writing the Astonishing Iceman limited series. We have Brie Cheese checking out my comics here. And it basically acts as setup for the Hellfire Gala 2023. We'll see what kicks off the Fall of X in that special, releasing in July 2023. That's all I have for you for this local comic book store haul. Thank you as always for watching. You just stay healthy, stay safe, and be well.